Yes, words are useless. Gobble, 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 gobble. Too much of it, darling. Too much.
Way too much. Welcome to the Mind Your Movies podcast. I'm Ryan.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm
No,
Shane.
you're Shane.
Oh yeah, I'm Shane. I was still in Edna mode.
Uh, uh,
This is the Mind Your Movies podcast.
that's too good. Oh man, one of these movies, I'm telling you, just has the best quotes. But today we're talking Pixar movies, and we picked out some bangers. I picked out The Incredibles, and
I picked out Ratatouille. So the episode is the Increditouiables. So we're going to talk about. We'll go in chronological order, so that works. The Incredibles and Ratatouille. We're going to talk full spoilers. I'm sure most people have seen these movies. It's very popular. We've been doing some popular movies recently. If anyone doesn't know, we pick randomly out of this cup. We have a bunch of topics in there, and sometimes we get more obscure things, and sometimes we get the most popular animated movies of the century, perhaps.
yeah,
And that's what we got this time. So pretty sick. But yeah, so we're going to talk about them in full spoilers. But first, we're going to mention a couple things we've seen recently that we want to discuss. And none of this has any spoilers, so don't worry. But Ryan, do you want to kick it off with your first recent thing you've recently seen?
yeah. I'll start with a short. It's only 15 minutes long. I think it might be one of the Oscar nominations, but it's not why I watched it, but it's called Perfectly a Strangeness. And
I've heard of this, but is this a documentary or is this
well,
in the live action short category?
I think it's actually in the documentary category, and I don't understand why. Um, it doesn't seem to be documenting much. So the short has no audio. It's no
Oh,
dialogue, I should say. There is like
oh.
audio, um but it just follows three donkeys that explore an observatory in the desert, like
Well,
an astronomy observatory.
that kind of sounds like a documentary.
But yeah, I guess. I mean,
It's not there's no fictional narrative
yeah,
to it.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I guess there's just it doesn't feel like there. I mean, hey, I gotta actually before I get into this, I gotta say I love this thing. It's only 15 minutes long. It's on Canopy. People should watch it. Um, but second of all, yeah, I don't really understand what it's documenting. I mean, I guess it's just documenting them
I
exploring the
mean,
thing,
you could just
but
put a camera in the street and let it run for 10 minutes and you could be like, well, that's a documentary because
that's true.
that's
There you go. There you go.
nonfiction. There you go.
Although it feels like there must have been some amount of training and or persuading these donkeys to do these things.
Does it seem like there's a guy right off camera with like a carrot and being like, come here, come
You
here?
know, the thing is, it really doesn't feel like that, and I think it
Well,
might
that's
all be
good.
like GoPro. I think they like
Oh,
GoPro'd up these donkeys or something. But there's
oh, that's
also some
cool.
really cool shots from far away, so I'm sure there's like people nearby. Um, but it just has some really gorgeous scenery. It's got donkeys. It's got a space observatory. It's like right up my alley. So I loved it. I strongly recommend. It's pretty cool. It's also super short and it has some pretty cool. Even if you just go onto Letterbox, you just look at like the backdrops for it. It's got some
Yeah,
sick images.
yeah, that sounds cool. It sounds like if you're into space and you're a jackass, you'll love this.
That's right.
There you go. I had it right there. I was like, I gotta call you a jackass for the joke. So that's the way it goes. Start off the episode with an insult. But yeah, that sounds cool. I had seen that, but I was like, I don't know what this is, so I haven't seen it yet. But it looks like it's also on the Criterion channel. So
Nice.
it's pretty accessible and nominated for short documentary at the Oscars. So maybe I'll check it out before. And next week's episode are Oscar predictions. So there we go. If anyone's not subscribed, subscribe, and you can see our Oscar predictions episode next week. So that'll be fun. Cool. I watched a movie that you talked about last episode 2 weeks ago. Crime 101. What a great movie. Is it
Yeah.
literally reheated nachos? Maybe, slightly, but it's still good. And it's very Michael Mann coded. There's men, angsty men staring at the ocean. They're calling each other on cell phones. It's a little more emotionally available than a Michael Mann movie, I think. It's like all the trappings of a Michael Mann movie, but a little bit we get more more of a clear insight into the characters' like emotional lives. The Michael Mann movies, they're kind of like, I don't have emotions. And then you by them acting like they don't have emotions, you kind of interpret stuff, but it's a lot more under the surface. But yeah, I loved this movie. I thought it was awesome. Totally worth seeing at the theater. Awesome. Like there's a really cool chase sequence in the middle. Some really cool action. The opening sequence is really well done. Definitely, if you like Heat, if you like Drive, I'd say those are some good comps. Uh, yeah, I mean Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo's great as a cop, and you won't get this. He's got a theory, and none of the other cops believe him, and they're all corrupt scumbags, you know. Never seen that before, but it's all elements that you've kind of seen before, but the way it's put together is so well done that it's a great just a great time at the movies, and very happy to have seen it in the theater. So I loved it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, this movie was awesome. I won't talk much more about it because I mean we agree on a lot of it. I think it was phenomenal. Happy to also have seen this one in the theater. So I would totally recommend that people go out to see it while it's still out in theaters.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully I think this will be like the third week. This comes out on Thursday, so it'll be entering its third week in theaters, I think. So maybe
Yeah,
even
something like that.
I don't
Third or
know.
fourth, I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's still in some theaters, so it's out there.
nice. Glad you saw it too, because it was a banger.
Yep.
Um, well, my next thing is kind of a 9 for 1 thing,
What
which
does that
is
mean?
I watched all of the Conjuring related movies. Um,
All right.
yeah, there is that.
How
So
many of
there's
them were good?
well, um, there was a lot of 2.5s in this. I'll be honest. Lots of
Okay.
2.5s in this series, but I did enjoy. Obviously, I like The Conjuring. I like the original Conjuring. I think it's a great movie. I also enjoyed The Conjuring 2, and I enjoyed Annabelle Creation much more than I thought I would, which is an odd, it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's the prequel to a spin-off of the Conjuring movies. I did not expect much from it, but it's other than The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, it's the only one I gave over 3 stars. So, uh, I think if anyone's planning on maybe going through this whole series, um, don't do that. Also, uh, you might be surprised by Annabelle Creation. So I think it was surprisingly, it felt like a maybe a little bit of a return to form, whereas some of the other ones, like the Nun and the Nun 2, kind of feel like totally off the rails. It's cool they're able to do so many different things in this series, I guess, but also a lot of these movies are like, here's a cheap jump scare and here's a pretty bad effect or like whatever, and I didn't really like all that, obviously. um
Yeah,
doesn't feel doesn't feel very like the original, and so
mm, by
lame.
the ninth movie, the gimmick wears thin, the
Yeah,
formula. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Kind of crazy that there's nine movies. It doesn't feel like that because they're like spin-off series, but I guess there four Conjurings and then two two nuns and three Annabelles.
Yeah,
Wow.
nice, that was
I
impressive.
knew I didn't know there was a third Annabelle. I
Yeah,
knew there were two nuns and I thought two Annabelles, but that's it. The math was not mathing. So, uh,
yeah,
but yeah, all right. Well, there you go. Now you know. Don't watch the
yeah,
whole series. Just watch the first one and maybe the second.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think that I mean, I know there's people out there that really like the whole series, and that's cool, but I think maybe this is a warning if you are like me and you like the first one and then maybe even like the second one. um I wouldn't hold your breath for much
Hmm.
more out of the series.
Yeah, this is a pretty like very popular series though. Like the new one was a big hit, kind of randomly, just out of the blue. It was like, oh, the fourth Conjuring movie, and then it's like $200 million or something. It's like, all right,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I think it's also the last one with Vera Farmiga and is it Patrick Wilson, right? That are
Yeah.
the two main people. They're too expensive for these movies, you know. And
I mean, not if they make 200, $300 million or something. I mean,
yeah, insane.
I hope they could. I mean, I'd be kind of surprised if they don't make another one, even if they don't have those two actors. They might. There's got to be a fifth
Oh,
Conjuring. If it makes that much money, like if a
oh
horror
shit.
movie can make like double its budget, they're like, all right, we're gonna make at least five of them. And
Yeah.
then if it makes that much, then there's gonna be more.
The thing is, Shane, they're definitely making more, and I think they're using younger versions of Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're like,
Prequel.
yeah, kind
Yeah,
of like their former adventures and stuff. So, you know what?
makes
Here's
sense.
I'm not usually a big mini series TV show person, to be honest, but I actually think this would be cool as like a Scooby Doo style show. You know, like they just keep going after shit every week. You know, and
Yeah,
um,
you've got like a few hour long episodes, like 10 hour long episodes. It's just 10 different, like Poker Face
yeah,
or Columbo or something.
yep. And I think that would be actually kind of interesting for this series. Not that I would watch it because I mean, I'm just not really going to watch like 10 hours of something like that. But, you know, I think that the people that enjoy this series probably would be into that. But
There you go. Nice. I will mention this movie. I rewatched Enemy. Have you ever seen Enemy?
no.
Denis Villeneuve, 2013, one of his earlier movies. Uh, and yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal plays a teacher who rents a movie one night and sees a background actor who looks just like himself. And so it's a doppelganger thriller, and obviously it just goes from there. That's the inciting incident, and it's very ambiguous and up to interpretation. People have all sorts of interpretations. Doesn't give you too many answers, or the answers are very unclear, I guess. But yeah, just a great movie. It's like 90 minutes. Just the vibe of it is it's just very well made. Very well made movie. So yeah, it's great. Yeah. So wanted to recommend that because it's only 90 minutes.
This sounds awesome. And also, guys, if you follow us on Letterboxd, you can go to all of our personal profiles too. They're linked there. And this is now one of Shane's profiled
Yeah.
reviews here. And it's kind of
Yeah.
awesome. The review is well, you know what? Go check it out.
You gotta see it. You
It's
gotta
right
see
there. Yeah.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's what the movie's about. So
uh
yeah, Enemy is awesome. And I wanted to mention one short film. I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to mention.
I'll mention one more, which is uh I saw How to Make a Killing, which is this new Glenn Powell movie. Or well, he's in it, you know. Um,
Yeah. It's a
and
Glenn Powell movie. He's the star.
yeah,
He's the face of it.
and you know what? He's been in a lot of stuff lately. You know, The Running Man. He's been in that Twisters movie, Hitman. Um, that there's a anyone but you.
I think
Um,
so, with Sydney Sweeney.
yeah, and maybe there was something else too. But anyways, he's been in a lot of stuff lately, and I'm all in on him. I think he's awesome. I like him,
Nice.
but I didn't really like this movie. It's getting a lot of good reviews, and I'm happy about that. But I was I didn't find it very funny, and I didn't think too much of it. So I'm curious.
Huh. I feel like it's getting kind of like mid reviews. Like people are like, it's just okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess that is 3.3 average, but I yeah.
Yeah, it's a 51 on Metacritic,
Mm,
6.7 on IMDb. Kind of, I
kind
think
of
I saw
mid.
the trailer for it and I was like, so I didn't
Yeah.
go see it.
Yeah, I was kind
And
of guess I was just expecting a lot because I've been into him lately, and you know he's
I,
had some good stuff. But this I would say maybe not what I was looking for.
even if you have a crush on Glenn Powell, it's still not worth it.
Yeah, maybe not. You know, so
Dang, dang. It's kind of harsh at that point. Yeah.
yeah, not that
Well, there you go.
I don't always want to bring up like recent things I didn't enjoy, but I thought that was interesting because I kind of only went to it because of him, and I left thinking maybe I shouldn't just go because of one actor.
Yeah, if when you're watching movies, that is a lesson you'll learn because actors really don't make the quality of the film very like it's not as much of a correlation as you might think. Obviously, there are some actors, but like that pick really great roles. Uh, but a lot of times it's you know I don't know. The actors are going to have a lot of hits and misses. Just because
Yeah.
they're really only playing the one character. There's so much around them with the director, the cinematography, the writing, all the other actors, the editing, like there's the studio interference, who knows? So there's a lot of factors that actors don't really have control over. So
Yeah. But that's it for me. I
yeah,
yeah.
that's also why like there are some like Emma Stone is like one of my favorite actors. She has like a pretty limited like filmography. She hasn't done like a ton of stuff, and I've seen a lot of them. But the few that I haven't seen, I'm kind of like in a way I'm like I could probably watch every Emma Stone movie like easily. Like I could probably do that. But they're kind of moved like I haven't seen them for a reason. I actually am probably going to end up watching The Croods for Nick Cage November this year. So
Yeah.
that'll knock two movies that I would never see otherwise off of that list. But
I
yeah,
yeah, that is an interesting thing. I mean, I'll watch. I watched through the Kubrick filmography and the Romero filmography and stuff. And I think directors, I think often, I think it makes more sense to kind of if you want to see like a whole, um, you know, auteur filmography, you're probably going to watch a director, right?
yeah.
Um, but then but it is interesting that some actors really do live above, kind of live in this realm of kind of legendary status, like Nick Cage, where, uh, I mean,
Well, he has the most misses of anyone. He was like,
I,
"Oh, I need money. Let me star in this Z tier direct to DVD action movie."
that's the thing. He has so many though that you could watch a Nick Cage movie like every week of the year and still have more movies to watch.
Oh yeah, it took a few years to finish.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, there you go. But that also goes to the act. Although Nick Cage, he's always interesting, in at least interesting in whatever movie he's in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, the last thing I wanted to mention was also a short film, actually. It was I forget what interview. It might have been Matt Johnson talking to Joel Haver on YouTube, which is a cool video. I'm pretty sure that's where he mentioned it, but Matt Johnson mentioned this short film called Facing It. It's 8 minutes long, directed by Sam Gainsborough, and it's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it, and it's this really cool like blending of live action and stop motion animation, and it's very expressionistic and about basically about social anxiety. That's just 8 minutes about social anxiety, but the way it's done and the way character there's no dialogue in it, sort of like the Donkey movie. Um, maybe I'll watch the Donkey movie and report back in 2 weeks. All right, now I have to watch the Donkey movie. But
got
yeah,
it for the Oscars.
yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. It's on the list. It's on the list to watch. It's only 15 minutes. I mean, and I have the Criterion channel, so I might as well watch it. Uh, Criterion channel also has some cool stuff this month, so I wanna watch some stuff on there. But yeah, this movie Facing It, very cool, very you know, very interesting approach to stop motion and it's short and I think it works very well. So thanks to Matt Johnson for mentioning that. I think he knows Sam Gainsborough. Maybe they've worked together or they know each other or something. Uh but yeah, anyway,
Nice.
good short film that you can watch on YouTube.
Nice. Just add it to my list.
Nice. So yeah, that's that. I think that's all I wanted to mention. I also watched there's a Day One Song documentary that's on YouTube, which is like probably my second favorite skateboarder of all time. And not to mention Rodney Mullen, my favorite, the greatest skateboarder of all time, is interviewed in the documentary. So it's pretty sick. It's
Nice.
I mean, ultimately, if you don't like skateboarding, you'll get nothing out of it. It's just like interviews and skate footage, basically. So if you're not interested in the subject, there's nothing interesting about it. But it's called Day One, DAEWON. So, which is his name, if anyone does not know. But kind of a cool, just retrospective on it's only like 50 minutes, I think, like 50. So yeah, it's a cool documentary. So I watched that too.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. Rodney Mullen, the best. The guy wears his heart on his sleeve. Gotta love him. And he's just the coolest. If anyone doesn't know anything about skateboarding, just look up like Rodney Mullen on YouTube and just watch some clips and you'll be like, wow, that guy's like a magician on a skateboard. For
This is
sale.
me right now. I got to look this guy up.
There you go. After we're done recording, you gotta just watch a little Rodney Mullen trick compilation.
Awesome. I'll have to do that.
Nice.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I've never really watched too much skateboarding stuff. So
Yeah, big. I barely know how to skateboard, can barely ollie. Never really got into it, but I loved the Tony Hawk video games as a kid, and so I
mm,
do enjoy skateboarding. It's just I don't really couldn't really get you know couldn't really get into it, but still very cool.
nice. Awesome. Well, that's it for our little prelude then, I
Yes,
think.
it's
Yeah.
time for the Incredituyables.
Which is an awesome name. And naturally, it means we start with The Incredibles.
Yeah, your pick.
This is my pick. This is 2004. This is Brad Bird's first Pixar movie. And Pixar's first movie bringing in an outside director.
Oh,
So which is kind of cool. And then Brad Bird
yeah.
obviously makes The Incredibles 2, and I think he makes
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. That's right.
Yeah. And then Tomorrowland is Disney, but not Pixar. It's live action. And then he has a movie coming out soon. I don't know if that's Pixar though.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't think it is. I think it's someone else. But anyway. But
Nice.
yeah, he did The Iron Giant was his first movie, and that was obviously a great movie. And then they very smartly were like, hey, make a movie with us.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, this is I think not probably hard pressed to find people that don't at least know the movie, right? I mean, it's the
Yeah.
superhero Pixar movie, and it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Ah, there you go. Yep. It is an incredible movie. It's definitely iconic. I mean, it came out in 2004. I was 7 years old. So this one I definitely saw multiple times as a kid. I may have had an Incredibles video game at some point. Was there an Incredibles video game? I think there
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
I think I had that at some point. And yeah, I haven't seen it in probably about 20 years, maybe 15, 20 years. And it every bit I was remembering, oh yeah, this scene's cool. Oh yeah, this one. And everything was just great. Just such a well done movie. Just everything flows together. It's awesome. It's great. I
yeah,
was maybe like because I had just seen it when I was a kid, I was maybe underrating it in my mind to where I was like, I remember liking that as a kid, but I didn't remember it being like incredible. But watching it this time, I was like blown away by how well made it is. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that I think a lot of earlier Pixar movies are really like they really hold up in terms of just sheer like filmmaking quality, right? I think of like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles. Wall-E was in the earlier range too, and I think those are like all just really great, well-made movies as well as being like cool kids movies and stuff. And I think that's one of the joys of it is that doesn't have to just be for kids, right? Like these movies can be a lot of fun to watch as adults and presumably with your kids and stuff too. So
Oh yeah, this one's great. And I will say I literally just finished watching The Incredibles 2 right before recording. And that one is definitely feels like more of a kid's movie to
mm,
me. Definitely just not nearly as good as The Incredibles. And watching it only a few days later rather than 14 years later, it was definitely the contrast was stark. It felt like a big step down to me. I know it seems like a lot of people like it, not as much as The Incredibles, but they still like it. And I was pretty disappointed with The Incredibles too. But luckily, we're not talking about it.
yeah, I've never actually seen The Incredibles. It
Yeah,
actually when you told me you were watching it today, it surprised me that it's a 2018 movie.
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah. Well,
I
also we would have been at that point we're like 21 years old. I mean, we're out of the that's the exact age range of someone who would not be watching The Incredibles 2.
yeah. Yeah, a little bit older, a little bit younger. But
Right, exactly. Once you get older, maybe you'll have kids or you've kind of just gotten older. You're like, oh, let me go back to that. But when you're kind of like, I'm not watching
yeah.
Incredibles 2.
Yeah, but the original Incredibles, it really does some cool stuff. I mean, it also
Yeah.
even its opening, it opens with the kind of interview sequence where it's
Yeah.
interviewing Frozone, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and was there another? There might have been another person in there too at the beginning, but
I don't know.
I don't know. But cool stuff. I mean, it was just cool, and also cool because it right away it kind of shows you and contrasts a little bit some of how Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl are feeling at the beginning of their
Yeah.
relationship, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like it's the whole movie has sort of that like 50s like mid-century modern aesthetic, which is really great. Just the way everything looks is awesome. And I guess these ones are 15 years earlier, and it's almost a little more like art deco, I guess, sort of like early superhero inspired, definitely. Um, and yeah, all that stuff with the documentaries footage and then the opening sequences with Incrediboy is a big fan, and there's Bon Voyage and there's all this stuff going on, like just a great introduction to the characters.
Also, amazing introduction to just how shitty this city is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's every superhero city. Like
Yeah,
every superhero city is like there's just insane supervillains around every corner.
yeah, yeah. So a fun way to show it off here, where like that opening sequence was like nonstop. Like he
Yes.
does he I guess he rescues a cat.
He
Although
rescues a cat kind of on the way to meeting the guy, and he stops to get the cat. Then he uses the car to stop them in their tracks.
right, the tree. Yeah,
Or the tree. Yeah,
yeah,
did I say the cat?
yeah. I think he was in the car,
Oh, the car.
but
Yeah,
he
he
uses the
uses
tree
the
to
tree to
stop the
hit to stop the car.
car.
That
um,
he just takes the cat, just throws it at the guy. Like a sacrifice for the greater good. He does not do that. He saves the cat. A very classical superhero vibe.
although he's funny, he's like he literally instead of just like getting the cat or something, like
Yeah, he shakes it
he
out of the tree.
yeah he rips the tree out of the ground and shakes it, and he's getting a little agitated as the bad guys are getting a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Um, and then he's on the building and he arrests the guy with Elastigirl.
Yep.
And then he jumps across, he sees a jumper and jumps across buildings,
Yeah.
saves the guy, ends up
Yeah.
being in a bank that's getting robbed,
Yeah.
and then blows up a train on accident or train track on accident.
Yeah.
Like,
And has to stop the train. So cool. Yeah. Awesome.
awesome. Also, there's this bit about them having to, all the lawsuits against supers and all this stuff. And yeah, I kind of I kind of see people not wanting, they want someone to blame for all this. I mean, all this chaos that's going on. That opening sequence was so chaotic.
Yeah.
Um, so crazy. Well set up, I think.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. And this movie does have a weird, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but it has like kind of this like weird ideology where it's like Incrediboy kind of just wants to be equal with the superheroes, and the superheroes are like, no, you're just a normie. Like you're worse than us. We're better than you. And then the movie's kind of like, well, yeah, they are. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if the movie's ideology of, oh, these people are better than all of us and they should just have impunity to do whatever they want, uh, maybe is not great, but also the movie's so good that it's kind of like, I don't do I care that much? Not really. So yeah.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. But also it's fun.
Yeah, it is. And I think like by the end it does a little bit undercut that because it's not that because they have to work as a family and like
Right.
as a team, and so there is that element, but ultimately they are all like chosen people with
Yeah.
superpowers. They're not just normies. So I don't know. There's like a weird sort of, I don't know if it's Ayn Rand or if it's Nietzsche or if it's something, but either way, I'm a little bit like, I don't know that these themes are tracking onto real life very well, but regardless, it's still a cool exploration. I mean, those ideas are in like superhero comics, even just in the subtext anyway. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's interesting. At least gives you kind of something to think about too. This is not like a vacuous like just light family entertainment that you watch and then it falls out of your brain. Like I feel like it is actually interesting and it's so well made and everything and it sticks with you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And even just in like the characters, right? They each kind of portray kind of an archetype or like a stereotype maybe of the family unit, right? Like the man has to be strong and everything, right? And literally Mr. Incredible or whatever. Whereas Elastigirl or Miss Incredible, Mrs. Incredible has to stretch all over the place and hold back the kids from fighting with while holding up the table and all this stuff, and has to like just stretch in all these different ways and do so much around, everything, right? And keeping the family together. And then the boy's kind of this hyperactive kind of teen, right? Teenage boy or preteen boy maybe. And then there's the kind of shy, maybe
Emo.
angsty, yeah, emo, social, maybe not totally in tune teenager, right? And I feel like and then all their powers obviously reflect that, right? Like
Yeah.
she's like kind of defensive and can be invisible with the force fields and invisibility and stuff. So I think that there's really like a lot that you can read into the movie, both maybe uh like on the positive end of like the family having to come together and like
Mm.
and understanding their own archetypes and all this stuff, and also maybe on the the chosen people end too. But
But yeah, it does definitely like explore the family dynamic and I thought it was just the way yeah, you're right. The way the characters line up with their superpowers is very cool on like a you know on a deeper level, but also just on an entertainment level, I feel like the way that they use the powers and it's so creative the ways that they use everything, especially by the end when they're all working together and they're using their powers like combining and you're in various different ways. But it's just very so entertaining and there's like so many possibilities. And yeah, I just thought it was great.
yeah, there's some montage. I think. Oh yeah, there's after he gets back from the island the first time. There's this
Yeah.
like montage of having a happy life. He's back in it, right? He's like, yeah,
Yeah, he's not depressed anymore. He's not like the guy in Falling Down. He's got his vim and vigor back.
exactly. He's hitting the
He's
gym again.
yeah, he's losing weight, the big gut, he's got some joie de vivre.
And he literally he's so strong, right? He throws the football and Dash sprints out to get it, and that's kind of goofy and fun. He lifts up the couch for Miss Incredible to stretch her arm out and get the vacuum under there and everything, and just the way that everyone interacts in the house during that montage and uses their powers to do all that stuff is really fun.
Yeah, it's great. Uh, and at the beginning, I do really like the part when he is working at his shitty insurance job and he has to deal with the horrors of the insurance industry and this evil little man. Also, these movies, little men evil. Little tiny,
Oh
tiny
yeah,
men are evil. That's a
yeah,
recurring theme in both these movies. There's something with Brad Bird there.
yeah.
Although Edna, little woman,
Oh.
not evil. A little bit sassy, but not evil at all. Ultimately wants to help the superheroes. So there you go. There's something there.
Also, I assume does Incredibles 2 follow, is it Mole Man?
He's in it, but he's
Oh,
not the
okay.
main thing, really. The
Yeah.
at the at the end, you mean is his name Mole Man? Or he's
I
like,
don't know. He looks.
oh,
I just assumed maybe. Yeah.
he
I might
has
have wrote it down.
a name, but I forget what it is off the
The
top of my head.
Underminer.
Yes, the Underminer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he
It,
little? He looks kind of small.
he is a little bit small. I don't know that he's as diminutive as the chef, the chef or the diminutive. That's a
Yeah, it's a good
word.
word. Good word.
Yeah.
Great word to
What?
describe people.
Yeah. Diminutive little shits. Diminutive little evil bastards.
Yeah, it
This
is
guy,
interesting. This guy just has these
and not to mention the old lady, tiny. little lady, and she's like, "Oh, I need help,"
Mm,
and there you go. So I think there's something in Brad Bird. Tiny men are bad. Tiny women are nice.
yeah.
There's something there. This is auteur theory. The the like stupidest auteur theory you could imagine. It's like this guy's kind of small, and this guy's small. There's a connection. No. But yeah, anyway, the insurance scene is really good. It actually like shows how the insurance industry is like fucked up and incentivized to not help its customers. And that guy is evil. And when he gets thrown through walls and put in the hospital, it was justice served.
Yeah. Also another piece of like, yeah, that's a piece that like um the adults watching will like really maybe appreciate and relate to in
Yeah.
ways that the kids obviously won't. And I think a lot of movies that are maybe more made for kids, the things that like, oh, the adults might appreciate are like off jokes or something, like jokes that the kids won't really get or whatever. And
Hmm.
I like that this is actually like the the jokes are about uh yeah, the insurance, right? Like this kind of stupid industry as opposed to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, sex or something
Yeah.
that kids won't
And
get.
yeah, and it makes sense that he is so depressed in his life in that it is a boring office job on one level, but also it's like this guy with a great sense of right and wrong and trying to do the right thing all the time works for a company that is tries to do the exact opposite. And he's got this little shit boss, you know? Like, so yeah, that it definitely sets up his like depression really well.
Yeah. It's also interesting because it at the beginning of this movie, it uses a lot of really good like visual cues in terms of his office, for example. There's this giant, oh my God. It's like the largest column I've ever seen in a building that takes up half of his office space, his cubicle. Whereas you see like an overhead shot where everyone else's cubicles, they don't have this thing, right?
Uh,
Because it's just like a building pillar, right?
yeah.
And and he's giant, right? And everyone else is like not as
Yeah.
giant as he is. So
And everything is tiny. His
yeah,
car, his little cubicle, like he definitely feels like boxed in.
exactly. Also in in this early time, it like does really well at setting up like the motif of like clocks and time and the glory days and stuff where, he's looking at posters from ye old days, but also the the boss's room has like four clocks that all have the same time on them on the wall, just lined up. It's like it looks like they're supposed to be like world clocks or something, but they're just the same time. Um, and there's lots of moments where you see time just coming up and stuff, and I think that's kind of obviously hinting at or just emphasizing the kind of the midlife conflict that Mr. Incredible's feeling.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the family, just with the family dynamic and all the stresses there on each of them, like I feel like that is a very it feels like just a very like relatable average normal family, and it's kind of I don't know, in a way the movie's kind of indicting that as like, oh man, this sucks. This is the worst, but it'd be way better if you were a superhero. So I I mean, but not that that's necessarily wrong. It would be cool if I had super speed or if I had invisibility and force fields or something. That'd be sick.
Or maybe it's saying that even with superpowers, right, we still all kind of might have those family struggles and still have to come together, right?
Perhaps.
Whether you have
Or
those superpowers or not.
yeah, or perhaps when society oppresses people and doesn't let them use
Mm,
their talents and skills, then it causes them to feel like boxed in. They're not free, you know, they're going to be unhappy, there's going to be more conflict, etc.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Right. And you see this also not just with Mr. Incredible, but with the whole unit, really. Like, Dash is acting out in class, putting the tack on the desk, right? Violet's kind of
I
uh
remember that guy, that teacher. He's only in the one little scene, and as soon as that guy popped up, I was like, "That guy, I remember him." Is he
yeah.
like a meme too? Like his face or something? There's a part of that that's become a meme, right?
Yeah, because there's that close up. He says something, oh, coincidence? I think not. And he like and you get that close up of his face.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that kind of became a meme.
yeah.
Um,
I think that did. I just
but
remember that being a great scene. Oh,
yeah, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I felt the same way watching through it again because it's been a while. I've seen it a little more recently, maybe, but it's still been a while, and it's just awesome watching this and kind of reliving. um, just how fun the scenes are and remembering. And there's this nice sense of sometimes you watch a movie that you've seen before, and I don't know if you call it nostalgia, I guess, or whatever you're feeling, right? Where that emphasizes kind of how good the scenes are. And sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, this is cool and I remember it, blah, blah, right? But this one, it definitely emphasizes for me, like, just, yeah, these were so cool to see the first time. And I kind of feel that again a little bit right now.
Yeah, yeah. And there's it's just so memorable each scene. It was kind of incredible how much I remembered. Like also when he's out with Lu is it Lucius, right? Frozone, right?
Yeah.
Frozone and Mr. Incredible are out and they find the fire and they save the people in the fire and they burst through the wall and they're in they think they look like jewel thieves and he's Frozone is like, I'm just getting a drink of water. And then he freezes the guy and like awesome scene.
Yeah.
That whole
Oh,
sequence is awesome.
yeah. Also, that the cop shot.
Yeah.
The cop shot. There was a bullet that was frozen in air
Yeah.
going towards them. That's insane. Just, but yeah,
Yeah.
and
Very strange, like to not put any of that anything together, I guess. But anyway.
yeah,
Why are
um,
there all these people passed out in a hole in the wall next to like anyway?
yeah. Um, and obviously the no capes. So at this point, like Mr. Incredible's,
Oh yeah.
trying to get back into his glory days, gets the call, goes and
Edna
to the island and gets a new suit from Edna, and Edna is iconic, and the no capes uh
montage.
montage is I remember that so clear.
Yeah,
Oh
the
man.
way everyone has died and gotten the capes have hurt them. They got sucked into propellers or caught on XYZ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Insane. The jet engine, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Yeah,
and
that's a great scene. Edna is incredible in this movie. And I will say this I mentioned this beforehand. Who does the voice of Edna? Brad Bird.
whoa.
Brad Bird
Oh,
does the voice of Edna. I never knew that Edna was voiced by a man. I just did not realize that.
yeah, that is cool. That's cool that he did that.
Yeah,
Um
pretty
that's
cool.
funny. I know he also did he was an animator before directing, and I think he did animation work on The Iron Giant and on The Incredibles. I don't know how much or whatever, but I think he technically did some. So kind of
Nice.
a, a well-rounded guy, it seems.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the voice cast for it is for this is pretty good. Obviously, Holly Hunter is pretty iconic as Mrs. Incredible or Elastigirl, and then obviously Sam Jackson, just
Yeah.
incredible. One of the best voices of all time, maybe.
Yeah.
Just iconic. You hear, it, you're like, there's Samuel L. Jackson. Love him. Jason Lee is good as speaking of skateboarding. Jason Lee, he's pretty good as Syndrome. So yeah, I think the whole voice cast is very good in this movie, but Brad Bird as Edna is just iconic. Like he just knocks it out of the park. So funny, just hilarious.
Yeah. I would say most of the quotable lines in this movie probably come from Edna. I mean, she's just so good. She's a hilarious character.
Yeah. And the sequence when she shows him all the suits and like she's like burning up the baby suit as it's like
Yeah.
going through and all that stuff. Like that's also a very funny montage. They do a good job of like comedy just through like editing like that, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like with that and with the Cape montage as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, the movie does a really good job at like mixing in the comedy and the action and the family dynamics and all this stuff
Yeah.
in a way where like you never get too far from any of those three topics, right? Like when he's on the island, the action's obviously mixed in with some comedy, and then when she's trying to figure out what happened to him, there's the family drama and some comedy and all this stuff. And I think it really does a good job at always keeping you kind of feeling all three of those things.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And the movie, obviously it's a superhero movie, like first and foremost, what it's about. But I feel like it's also a spy movie, especially with the score and with the gadgets. Like especially at the beginning and then the end, with the action sequences, like but just the beginning with the car and the special gadgets and all that, and the music is very James Bond. It feels like that's also a huge influence on the movie.
Yeah. This is also uh the first feature film that Michael Giacchino composed, which is cool. He ends up doing a lot of other stuff, a lot of Pixar stuff, but other stuff too.
Yeah.
He's a big collaborator with someone, and I'm forgetting who right now. But
Yeah, I mean, all, pretty much Pixar. So he does Michael Giacchino, like all the pretty much most of the Pixar movies. He did the Spider-Man movies. He did Rogue One, it looks like. He's done the score for a ton of big popular movies. Some Mission Impossibles. He did Ratatouille as well.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
also did the
Oh my god,
Batman, which is a little
that's
bit out of
right.
place with the rest of his movies, but yeah.
I think that's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, yeah, cool. And yeah, and the new Spider-Man ones, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
insane.
Batman is a little more like
Yeah.
more of a serious, like more somber tone than his usual more upbeat stuff.
Also, he did some of the Mission Impossibles. He did the Planet
Yeah.
of the Earth. Nope. Planet of the
Planet of
Apes
the Apes.
movies. Yeah, he's done. It's crazy. So this is his first feature film, which is pretty cool.
That is
And
cool. Yeah.
I think you can feel it. And also, this got a nomination for sound editing, I guess, or no, it won for sound editing, an Oscar.
Yes, and was also nominated for sound mixing, which now it's just sound. It's just they
Mm.
combined it into the one category, but yeah. Which yeah, it
Also
makes sense.
won the Oscar for best animated feature that year, which is cool. Um, yeah, clearly it got well recognized in a lot of ways, which is cool.
Yeah, and it was just super popular. I feel like this is super iconic for anyone like around our age. Like, just it was always around. It's kind of surprising to me that it took so long to make a second one. It's cool that Brad Bird also directed that. Like, I guess they were waiting for him to sort of come around, maybe. But I feel like Disney usually, I don't know. I guess Pixar was more averse to sequels originally because after The Incredibles, I think Cars is the next movie. Maybe Cars, then Ratatouille, and then I think Cars 2 is their first sequel, which maybe
Mm,
is like 2011-ish, something like that. I don't remember, maybe 2009, something like that. But either way, Pixar like started off, there were no sequels. It's all original
yeah,
stuff. So, but now they're kind of cashing in. They're doing Finding Dory, they're doing Monsters University, Incredibles 2. They're connecting in sequels and everything. So,
I guess the only I think maybe Toy Story was maybe the only like
great
sequel,
point.
but that was like kind of also the original like
Yeah.
that was inevitable. I feel like right. I mean,
I
um,
get, yeah, you're right. That did come out before. Toy Story 2 came out before Incredibles, but
yeah,
that's the only one.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that's true that maybe they weren't trying to like just immediately. I mean, the thing is, Pixar had so many like unique and interesting ideas that they really wanted to run with, as opposed to maybe just doing the next Incredibles movie, right? Which is cool.
Yeah.
Um, and also like it's not like they did like multiple movies a year or anything, right? So, um, they,
Yeah.
you know,
And they've been moving at like I mean this year there's two Pixar movies coming out, but generally they've been doing like one a year recently. But I feel like in the earlier days it was more spread out, like maybe one every other year or something like that. So yeah,
yeah,
they've definitely gotten more, perhaps more quantity over quality sometimes recently. But luckily this was 2004, so this was still in the quality over quantity era. Although I
yeah,
think Finding Nemo is 2003, so that's only one year. But I imagine there's probably entirely separate teams potentially working on those movies. Like,
yeah. Well, because actually that's almost certainly true because at least for this one, Brad Bird brought in a lot of people from,
mm,
um, I think it might have been Warner Brothers where he made the Iron Giant, and he was able to bring in a lot of people to help him with this. So the team for this was at least in part a lot of new people. I don't know how many people also came over
mm,
from Finding Nemo or something, but
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, yeah. I think he had I think him and John Lasseter were like maybe friends or something. They maybe went to college together, so
Ah,
he had a little bit of leeway in terms of being able to come over and do some cool stuff. So which
yeah,
is awesome.
definitely. Nice. One other thing, Edna, I think, is inspired by Edith Head, who is probably the most famous costume designer of all time. Made designed costumes for a lot of Hitchcock movies and also in like a lot of uh you know 40s through 60s era. stuff, I think. So shout out to her. So that's the inspiration for Edna.
Nice.
I don't know if she sounded like that, but she was probably slightly taller than Edna.
Yeah, she might have been
How tall do you think Edna? Oh yeah, higher or lower than 2 feet tall?
higher than two. Yeah,
Do
right.
you really?
Yeah.
She looks quite diminutive to me.
What a strange word to describe people.
Well, once you mentioned it, now I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again.
Uh,
I only said it the
um,
one time. I mean, but now it's in my lexicon, you might say.
over under two. I would say over 2 feet. Yeah.
I'm gonna say under.
There's got to be a
Wow. No, this
Incredibles
can't.
Wikipedia.
Now, I think Google is lying to me, but Google claims that she is approximately 4'2", and I just can't believe that.
I mean, 2 feet. You understand? Like 2 feet is like.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
I'm
That's how
just
small
checking.
she looks. I did go look at a scene with her and Mr. Incredible. She's barely at
Well,
his kneecaps.
Mr. Incredible also is probably supposed to be, 7 feet, 8 feet tall or something incredible.
No way he's 8 feet tall.
I
Let
don't
me look
know.
it up.
Look it up. Yeah, you've got the
Oh
power of
my
the internet in the
gosh.
palm of your hands.
I do, I do. I'm looking it up right now, and according to Google, he's only about 6'7".
That's pretty tall.
That's
That's
still within a normal human size,
yeah,
and
that
she looks
is
tiny.
yeah, I was expecting him to be a little bit taller, but also um unrelated, but
I'm sorry.
that's
She
okay.
barely touches his waist. Look at them
His
standing next to each other. The
well,
top of her head is like at his waist. There's no way she's above 3.5 feet tall.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not 6'7", and my waist is definitely taller than 2 feet though, you know?
Listen, 2 feet might have been a bad line, but there's no way she's above 4 feet. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm just
She
saying, yeah. You gave me
she's
an easy
diminutive.
win right there, saying
All
over
right.
under 2 feet.
You're right. It was a bad line. It was a bad line. I'll admit it. But I think that's inaccurate.
Yeah. I do think 4'2" seems well, whatever. I don't know.
She's
I don't know.
diminutive.
I don't know. Call in the animators. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna have to bump down the incredible score because that's
That's
misinformation.
insane. They didn't even tell you
1 star.
that.
The Incredibles is lying to you. Open your third eye. See the truth.
You know what's cool though? Speaking of people, because we're talking about Edna and everything, I guess. But me desperately trying to get on a different topic.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, this movie is like the first Pixar movie to feature all humans. And so they actually
Huh.
had like kind of a hard time animating all humans because it turns out obviously animating toys and fish and animals is a lot easier than animating people where people are going to like notice if people act weird or move weird, right? So
Yeah.
um which is I think probably also part of why obviously the proportions are kind of comical at times and stuff, right? And
Yes.
so yeah.
Do you want to guess how tall Skinner is in Ratatouille?
4'2".
No. 3'6".
I just thought it'd be the exact same. I thought that would have been
Shorter
funny.
than Edna. 3'6".
I don't believe that.
Now, how would you describe that man?
Diminutive.
Exactly.
My lexicon has increased. Speech level up.
Yeah. +1 speech.
um uh
How
anyways,
tall do you think Syndrome is? He seems pretty
I,
short.
I was gonna bring that up. I don't know. I mean, he does seem kind of short, but I'm gonna say I mean, if she is 4'6" in the movie, he's gotta be like
She's
5'3", 5'4", 5'5",
those are three different guesses, but she's 4'2".
4'2", 5'4", then 5'4".
He's 5'7".
Wow.
But
What?
I don't think that includes the hair. 5'7". So I mean, yeah, that's only a foot shorter than Mr. Incredible. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. You know what? The camera, it
It
shrinks you.
enhances Mr. Incredible's height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I
um
wouldn't. When he was a little kid, he was still probably above 2 feet tall. I will say, Jack Jack, no way Jack Jack is 2 feet tall. That guy is
no,
really diminutive.
I would go under on that. Yeah, I'd go under. Um Dash? Dash.
Oh wow, he's very small, but there's no way he's under 2 feet. That was a horrible line. He's got to be. He's got. I mean, he's shorter than Edna, right?
He looks shorter than Edna. Yeah.
He's got to be. I think he's 4 feet tall.
4 feet. I'm gonna say 3'9".
3'9". A height that's never been said out loud before. It says he's 10 years old and he's approximately 4 feet tall exactly. And apparently he weighs about 60 pounds. I don't know where this information is coming from. He's a drawing, but
It's getting weird, Shane. It's getting weird.
it's it also Google AI tells me that he has blonde hair, blue eyes, and freckles for
Hmm.
some reason. 4 feet
Uh,
exactly. So I was right on the money.
wow.
Shorter than Edna.
Um, crazy. Anyways, um, the I did want to bring up something because you like this movie that I'm going to compare this to real quick, which is that Syndrome. His whole plan is pretty much Lex Luthor's plan.
In the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither both of them don't like superheroes.
Well, and they
Wants to,
make like they make a AI robotic thing that
mm,
they have to, and then they well, does Lex Luthor? He doesn't actually do the fighting, but he has a fake. I kind of forget to be honest, but
it's not quite the same, but because Lex Luthor's kind of using there's almost some interdimensional aspects to it. It's not a robot necessarily. There's like a
mm,
robotic suit, I guess. Um, but yeah, I mean it's pretty similar.
yeah,
Yeah, as
seems
far
pretty
as
similar.
controlling who's fighting and stuff like that. Yeah, it is pretty similar. It's a good point. But Syndrome, more hair.
Yeah, that's true. That is a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point. It is a similar I guess that's kind of a common like superhero, supervillain motivation that they
Well,
don't like
because
superheroes.
yeah, but because don't they? I mean, they kind of both like fake an attack, right, or cause an attack.
False flag so that they can be the heroes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking, maybe more. Because yeah, I mean, I think yeah, a lot of people don't like the superheroes. Kind of the problem, you know. But the false flagginess of it kind of
Mm.
felt, Superman-y.
Yeah, that I see what you mean. Very Lex Luthor, very Syndrome, very Israel. False flag attacks
Whoop.
on our Pixar family friendly episode. Anyway,
uh, um,
moving on.
let's go back to heights.
Yeah. Who's the most diminutive world leader? No. All right. Syndrome is a pretty good villain though. And
Yeah,
yeah, pretty I like his motivation. I like that there's the connection to Mr. Incredible like in the beginning and that motivates him. Mr. Incredible kind of being an asshole, although also this kid being annoying. Um kind of comes back to bite him in a big way. All the island stuff is very fun. I love the part where he's like in the computer room and he's seeing all the terminated superheroes, which is very dark for a kids movie. Like all these people have been murdered. So that's
yeah.
crazy. And then yeah, the it's pretty cool. I like the scene when he's getting shot by all those like black like bubble things and it like captures him and there's the shot of them like covering his eyes. I That one is like seared in my mind as from being a kid. Um
Also, it makes so much sense because, like, no matter what the superhero power is, those things are probably going to take them down. You just shoot a crap ton of these things that expand and stick. What are they going to do? You
I
know,
guess so, yeah. Unless you have anti-sticky
that would be a very neat.
powers.
Yeah, that would do it, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Yeah,
uh,
it would work for most people. Maybe Elastigirl could avoid that. Probably not. There's a lot of them.
yeah, right. But
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, all that stuff really, really well done. Love the climactic sequence. The action is awesome. Frozone is so cool.
yeah,
His powers are awesome, and he's just like a great supporting character. Great idea to just have like another guy with cool powers rather than just the family. And yeah, like I said earlier, I feel like they use everyone's powers very intelligently to you know, I don't know. It's very creative, all the different ways that they use it, and it's fun and entertaining, action packed, and yeah, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. And I also just really like that the movie is set into these three acts in a very like visual way too, where you have like
Hmm.
act one's all at home, act two is like the island, act three is the city, right? And that's like
Hmm.
it's very like uh it's very well laid out in that way, and the set pieces are also awesome. Like the island, like you were saying, is awesome. The uh the city attack and combat is all really cool. Also cool. I like that there's a part when we really haven't seen them use their powers too much, and Mrs. Incredible is like, "Oh, Violet, you have to make a giant force field right now to save the plane," and she can't. And
Yeah.
that was like really cool. I think a lot of superhero movies will just be like, "Ah, she can do it all of a sudden." You know?
Yeah. Yes, that is a good point. And then they have to get a different way of surviving through that. Yeah, that's a good point. Normally movies do kind of just do that. It's like, it worked out perfectly at the last second.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then, she has to learn how to do it, and she ends up helping. And the whole family has to come together and use their powers in a collaborative way to help and win and everything. And at the end, even Violet has more confidence when it comes to like asking the guy out in her like high school life, right? And
Yeah. Fucking
and
Tony.
yeah, that's right.
Tony.
And Dash has some like restraint finally, where
Mm.
he like intentionally doesn't just stomp out in that race, and
Yeah.
you know so I think the ending really feels well earned and also well done.
Yeah, it's awesome. One maybe last thing that we haven't mentioned yet, maybe the elephant in the room. Uh Mrs. Incredible is just caked up, bro. Like, whoa, she's thick as hell. What's going on? Why did they draw her like that?
Yeah, that is weird, although all the proportions are weird. I mean,
Yeah.
Violet's like skinny as
Yeah.
impossibly skinny. I
Yeah, her
mean,
and Mrs. Incredible, even Mr. Incredible, all their legs are super, super skinny.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Mr. Incredible, I mean, God, he
Yeah.
doesn't fit in a car. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
I think it's fun though, the wacky proportions. Like, it's pretty like consistent. If
yeah,
that like, it's consistently not quite realistic anyway, so
totally.
works for me.
I agree. I think uh,
Hey, I'm not
yeah.
complaining.
All right. This has been the Mind Your Movies podcast.
I'm not. I'm just saying that is one of the lasting legacies of this movie.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's definitely yeah. All right. Anyways,
Uh,
also, this movie just this year, this is cool. Just this year, it became the third Pixar movie inducted for the National Film Registry's preservation through the Library of Congress, and that was this year. So after you know, uh, 20 some years, it's finally in there. And the other two, any guesses on the other two Pixar movies that are in there?
oh, interesting. If I had to guess, I'd say Toy Story, and I'd say Ratatouille. Oh, interesting. Monsters Inc.
Not Monsters Inc.
Wally.
Wally, yeah. So Toy
Okay,
Story,
yeah,
Wally, and now The Incredibles.
that makes sense. Wally is great. I
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will say. I mean, I don't know if we have that much more to say about The Incredibles. If we're gonna wrap it up, I will say I gave this movie 5 stars.
Yeah, me too.
Straight up. Oh, 5 star, double 5 stars for The Incredibles. Just straight up, I was like, just for what it is, as like, this is an incredible superhero movie. It's like so entertaining, but also has genuine like heart and like depth, and the characters are interesting. Like, you care about everything that's going on. Like, it's like a perfect superhero movie. Yeah, so this I think right now is my favorite Pixar movie. I think before this rewatch I would have said it was Wally, but I think I'd take The Incredibles. And also, just not to mention like how influential this has been in the with the rise of superhero movies over the past 20 years.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely in my top three. Actually, ironically, my top three: Toy Story, Wall-E, The Incredibles.
Oh, there
Um,
you go. Yeah.
yeah. But I think it's tough. I don't really know which order I would put them. I think probably Toy Story, then Wall-E, then The Incredibles. But it's tough. They're all, I mean, ask me any day, and I might tell you a little bit different. I mean, those three
Yeah.
movies are all really, 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 really great for me. I really
Yeah.
enjoy them.
I watched Wall-E for the first time maybe I think it was last year or the year before or something like that. I never saw I mean, came out when we were 11. I don't know.
Yeah,
Never saw it. But the first like hour of that movie is pretty perfect. It's just like in the middle and like toward the end there are some things that get a little like I don't know. It gets a little kids movie-ish, and it felt a little like incongruent to me with the first half of the movie, which is still a great movie. Like still think it's great, but I think The Incredibles is like pretty consistent throughout. So,
yeah,
but
that
if you
makes
just
total
took that
sense.
first hour of Wall-E, it's like pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think The Incredibles. One of the awesome things is it's pretty nonstop too. Like, there's
Yeah.
really no lulls. There's nothing where like there's nothing in this movie where I was like, oh, all right, almost done or anything. I mean, this is a two hour movie, and I loved every minute. It's not probably not hour 55, and a lot of that's probably credits with the Pixar movies, but
Yeah.
you know,
There's probably only like 5 minutes of credits.
yeah. I feel like today Pixar movies, those
Yeah, or
credits are probably like 15 minutes.
yeah, definitely at least like Marvel movies.
Yeah,
A lot of those because they'll have like the post credit scenes or the mid credit
yeah, that's true.
scenes and stuff
That's
like
true.
that. But yeah, there are definitely movies. I do wonder like Hoppers is about to come out. Like I wonder how long the credits are in that. Just
Yeah,
out of curiosity. But it could be like up to 10 minutes.
yeah,
But this
but
one
yeah,
does have like kind of cool credits. It has like that like kind of classic superhero like comic booky look. So that could add a little bit to the runtime of the credits, I guess.
yeah, yeah. This is great. What a good Pixar movie. I think I'm very glad I chose it. I was between these three movies. I was between Wall-E, Pixar, Wall-E, Toy Story, and The Incredibles, and I'm glad this has definitely been the farthest rewatch for me out of the three. I just recently watched the other two again this year, so or last year or whatever. So it would have been it would have been like ridiculously soon to rewatch them. So I'm glad I chose to just rewatch this one and enjoy it for all it's worth because it was pretty good.
Yeah, I was very happy to rewatch this. I was yeah, pretty blown away with how great it was on rewatch. And it gave me a reason to watch Incredibles 2. And Incredibles 2 it wasn't a great movie. There was a good quote which is relevant to our times. Someone says, "Politicians don't understand people who do good just because it's right." And I've
Oh,
never that is so accurate for everything that's going on in the world right now. So yeah, that is that is a nice, heartwarming element of these movies of having superheroes who genuinely want to do the right thing, which is generally not what people in power do. Usually, people who want power do not want to do the right thing. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. Well, on that wonderful note, let's move into the movie about a rat that cooks food.
Ratatouille, yeah, Ratatouille. This was my pick. This one I had never seen before. This might be the most critically acclaimed of all of the Pixar movies. I don't know. I think it might be the highest rated on Letterboxd at the very least. Um, yeah, it's came out in 2007, also directed by Brad Bird. Funny he didn't make a movie about a bird. Why did he make a movie about a rat?
Whoa, you're so
Yep.
right.
Yeah. Pretty deep auteur theory here. This guy hates short people and he's like a bird supremacist or something. I don't know. Yeah, this is about a rat. That's the end. We'll talk to
That's
you
the
later.
end.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a rat who doesn't want to keep living the shitty normie life of his family. Ugh, he's a little bit too hoity-toity for that. He likes gusto, he likes good food, he has good taste. It's kind of cool how they depict the him with his like enjoying the taste of food and the colors behind he closes his eyes and there's colors bursting and all that cool visualization of his appreciation of food and taste. And yeah, it's Remy the rat, voiced by Patton Oswalt. He gets lost in separated from his family, goes to Paris, and ends up at Gusteau's restaurant, who's the he loves Gusteau. He's a famous chef, and he's his inspiration that anyone can be a chef. And I guess we're going to be talking spoilers. So yeah, he ends up piloting a human being like a mecha.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Insane.
a this movie's insane. What is how did someone come up with this idea? It's pretty insane.
I didn't think that The Incredibles would feel more realistic than Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Definitely feels more realistic.
I did you also have that problem of in the middle when he is piloting him and he's being so ridiculous and like
Yeah.
and people just kind of don't just gloss over it?
Yeah. He wails around in the
Yeah.
kitchen. He like,
His arms are flailing everywhere and he's it's a yeah.
yeah, it's pretty nonsense. Yeah, it was a little goofy.
Yeah. Have you seen this one before?
This was at least my first time in a long time seeing it.
Hmm.
When this was 2007, I probably saw it when it came out. It was very familiar, but
Gotcha.
but
Yeah, I had never seen it, but
I would say this is the first time seeing it where like I was, where I have an opinion more on it.
yes, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, I did enjoy this movie a lot. My overall experience was a little bit, maybe I had quite high expectations because of how acclaimed it is and beloved it is. I did like the Rat Society. I thought it was pretty cool. I like they're just little guys and they're scampering and around. They're actually, if you think about it, they're pretty diminutive, which I like. Um,
Yeah, over under 2 feet.
way under. No way those guys are 2 feet. If you include the tail, if you go nose to tail, you might be close on some of them.
Mm. Yeah,
But I
there's
mean,
that
those
giant guy.
there that guy nose to tail, including the biceps. That guy's got to be 2 feet tall.
I'll tell you what, if I saw that rat in a kitchen, I would give it the kitchen. I'd be like, it's all yours, dude. Goodbye.
Yeah, like don't beat me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed all that. I in a way I like this. I like them. You know, what's the word like I guess scampering and sneaking through and avoiding obstacles and being sneaky. Always kind of a fun thing when it's like a little guy in like a normal size space and you have that different perspective on everything. Like when he's in the spice rack and like the spices are as tall as he is and he's like
Yeah,
going,
that was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And but then like an old lady starts shooting them with a shotgun
Yeah, that was
and she
insane.
well, that scene was insane. It was much goofier and like sillier than I maybe expected. Of like, wait, this old lady is shooting these rats with a shotgun?
Yeah, she shoots her house
Yeah, she
like
like
apart.
destroys her house. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think she shoots the ceiling in like a circle and then the ceiling falls on her or something like that.
Yes, and all the rats are in the ceiling. They're living
Right.
in the ceiling, and then they all start running out. Yeah,
Insane.
yeah. It's
I did not expect that.
yeah. So the tone is much sillier than I maybe had expected, but I will say, even though I was a little more up and down on, like I wasn't in love with the movie for the first half of it, but it really does stick the landing. I felt like the ending was really great. Everything with the critic Anton Ego, and you know the relationship between Remy and Linguini, also a hilarious name,
Yeah.
Alfredo Linguini. Great, gonna name my kid that. Um, yeah, and it sticks the landing, and I really did like it by the end. I thought it was very sweet. But I don't know that it like knocked my socks off quite the same way as The Incredibles.
Yeah, I felt very similar. The Also I checked to see about uh technically on Letterbox, Wall-E is ranked higher if you sort by average rating, but
Yeah.
Ratatouille is maybe by far the most popular of these movies. And it has technically the same average rating, 4.2, as Wally, but it must be 4.2 something lower. Um,
right.
but it's been viewed on Letterboxd like 5 million times, and it's
Oh,
in
wow. Almost six.
yeah. And now that Letterboxd has the top 500 instead of the top 250, um,
Yes. Yeah.
this is number 260 in the top 500, which is uh interesting to me. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I mean, it was cute. It was bonkers. It was weird, but yeah, it shocks me. I think maybe because I also it has a lot of praise and everything, and
Yeah.
um, not that I don't think it deserves it. I think I'm glad and I think it's cool, but I can't say I was in love with it. Yeah, I think
Mm.
it was maybe part of it is that I wasn't like maybe on a rewatch where I go in kind of expecting how goofy it is because I knew that he controlled the guy, but I guess I didn't think it'd be that goofy and everything about this movie all the way to the end where the rats are literally running the kitchen is goofy. Is everything's very goofy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's kind of interesting. Like they have him like he's so out of control at first, and then they kind of have like a training montage,
Mm.
and they're training at home, and it seems like they're getting the hang of it. But then I feel like the next day they're just back at square one where he's flailing all over the place again.
Yeah. I think the movie kind of does that a couple times where I feel like things just shift kind of too quickly or kind of backwards sometimes. There's at one point, Remy is very happy with the situation. And then kind of like the next day, Remy seems jealous of the attention and it becomes a big
Well,
that's like the main conflict of the movie.
there is a scene for that. I think he's feeling because he's taking credit for the work, and he's not he feels underappreciated, I guess. Although yes, it is true you can't really give him credit. He's a rat.
Yeah, I guess because I just couldn't disconnect that. Like obviously the rat was not getting credit. I didn't really think about I was just
Yeah.
very confused. It felt like such a fast shift because um he had just stopped Linguini from telling the lady in private about the rat. Remy just stopped him from doing that like a few scenes ago, and now all of a sudden he's like, "Why aren't you telling the whole public about me?" And then
Yeah, I don't know that he wanted the secret to be revealed, but I think he was annoyed that he was taking the credit. Like he could say even like, "Oh, it's not me," it's not me. I'm not the one doing this, and just be vague about it. But I feel like he was, Linguini was getting a little too big for his britches.
yeah, I guess I can see that. I don't know. It felt like a weird. I guess I just didn't understand what emotions were supposed to be going on. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know.
I
The
get that.
I will say going back a little bit because I did want to say the you mentioned the running around piece.
Yeah,
This might have been my favorite scene in the movie is when Remy is just running around the kitchen in the very beginning.
yeah.
What actually, sorry, not the very beginning, but once they're actually, it's
At
at
Gusto's.
Cousteau's kitchen, and he's running around, and probably my favorite part of the whole movie. That scene was awesome. He's avoiding a wheel, and he accidentally jumps on top of something, and he has to go back, and he's avoiding flames from underneath an oven or something, and
He almost gets
it's
put in the oven with
yeah,
vegetables. He has to jump out. Yeah,
and
that is a
yeah,
great scene, and he's about to escape, and then he has to fix the soup. Yeah, that's a great scene.
yeah, that was awesome. That actually I felt so excited for what was coming, maybe, and then
Mm.
definitely felt a little disappointed. I think by
Yeah,
the next piece, but
yeah, there are definitely elements of like where it does feel like things just happen because they have to happen for the plot a little bit. Like the characters have to have their conflict and like, I'm done with you and all that kind of stuff. Sort of like in every rom-com, it's like they meet, oh, and they're falling in love, oh, and then they have a big fight and now they don't like each other, and then they kiss at the end, and it's like the same. You kind of have to have the second half of the second act descent or whatever. Uh, and sometimes that feels a little unearned. So, yeah, I see what you mean about that. Um, but yeah, I think the climax was just so well done that it really like buoyed the movie for me. I don't know if you felt that way, but I thought all the rats coming in and helping and they're cooking and giving him the ratatouille. I loved the scene of Anton eating the ratatouille and then being like transported back to his childhood when he was having ratatouille as a kid and sort of obviously it's an extremely quick thing, but like him sort of his heart is softened and I enjoyed that whole sequence. Them cooking the meal, them telling him about Remy and him sort of keeping the secret and at the end like I think the movie just like sticks the landing so hard that that's what people remember and also a lot of the scenes like them getting shotgunned by like there's fun goofy silliness too. So I think all maybe I was just expecting it to be I don't know. I think the ending I really loved. It didn't necessarily make me cry or anything. It seems like a lot of people love it and they're like, "Oh, they're crying and they're, but I was not quite as moved by it. And then the silliness and the goofiness was a little like not didn't fully work for me all the time. So yeah, I was not as high on the movie as like the general consensus, which is like it would not be in my top 500 movies of all time, probably. But I still think it was a pretty great animated movie. Like, I think just the way the kineticness of all the action sequences is very fun. And like I said it a bunch of times, it sticks the landing. So I thought those were my main takeaways, even though there was some unevenness on the way there.
Yeah. I mean, I think this movie really excels in the moments when it is serious, right? And at least exploring emotion and feeling in a way where like it feels earned, like with the the critic who has a funny name. No, not a funny
Anton
Anton.
Ego.
Anton Ego, right? Yeah. Um, and when Anton is tasting it and he goes back to his, that was such a cool shot and a cool scene and just really well done. And same with like you were talking about earlier too, when Remy is eating at the beginning or even smelling food and you kind of see it right and you get to feel that with him through the way that you're shown the movie where you get all those colors and cool stuff. Um, I think there in those moments when the movie feels more experimental and it feels like
Hmm.
it's trying to do something um really unique, I really appreciate, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, there's and so I definitely agree. I don't know if I the whole ending, I don't know if I love as much. Maybe I do like it. I think it's a nice up from kind of the middle lull that I didn't like so much. Um, but I think those specific scenes were really telling to me. And the middle, though, I mean, it's the middle just feels so almost generic and kind of like goofy. Like again, like you were saying, like the plot has to happen. Like it's doing things to make the plot happen, and it just feels almost like overly goofy in some ways. Where
Yeah.
I
Uh,
felt I felt more at times in this movie, like yeah, I can see why like I don't want to say it's a kids movie, but like I maybe
Oh, it
feel
is.
yeah, right, it is. And I feel maybe more like I probably appreciated it when I saw it when it came out, maybe, more.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I get that. And I think the romance between Alfredo and the what was her name? Uh was it Claudette or something like that? Or I can't remember her name off
uh
the top of my head, but she's also works in the kitchen
yeah,
and her name I believe is Colette. There you go.
Colette.
Looked it up. Uh I that romance was a little like was very underdeveloped. Like it kind of just happens out of the blue. Um but yeah, I think a big thing that connects with people and probably the letterbox audience is maybe skewed toward people that enjoy it is the themes and the movies like ideas about art and like appreciating art and what it does for us and taking down like the commercialism of Skinner, and him sort of turning art this what is supposed to be an art for everyone that Gusteau says anyone can cook, and this is an art form that everyone should be able to partake in, but it is art and it should be taken seriously that way. And then Skinner takes it as commercializes it, and ego just sort of uh uh takes people down for his own gain in a lot of ways. And like, I mean, like he says at the end, he says like even the most mediocre average thing is probably worth more than me claiming that it is mediocre and average, because ultimately it's still a piece of art that people put the work into, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the movie is just like, and the themes of appreciating art and all that kind of stuff, and chasing your dreams as well, and going, having to go away from your family and going to the big city and chasing your dreams to be an artist and all that. It's a very romantic vision of that. So I think that's what people are drawn to, probably, for the most part. Uh, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I think that's kind of seems to be the consensus when you kind of look into the reviews of the movie and stuff. And I can see that. I like those themes, but I feel like for me it just doesn't carry enough of the movie. Like
Hmm.
that middle lull just really hit me hard, I think, in a way. I mean, I didn't hate the movie. I'm saying all this. Uh, it's not like I gave the movie like 2.5 stars or anything. I didn't hate the movie, but
Did you give it like 3 or 3.5?
yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars.
Three and a half.
So
Yeah.
um, which I mean, is a good rating. I
I
liked the movie. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it for the most part, but I do feel almost maybe because it's so acclaimed. I feel like um there's so much positivity in the movie and good stuff, but I do feel like it's hard for me not to emphasize that lull that I uh, was that turned me away from feeling the same way maybe as most people.
Yeah, I get that. I really liked the sequences of him like cooking and like when he makes the omelets at the beginning. In a way, I kind of wish the movie had more of that stuff and a little bit less of like the I mean the old lady shooting them scene was kind of fun, but like there's a lot of, I don't know. There are like the big set pieces and stuff like that. I kind of wish there was more of Remy and Linguini connecting. And I think it's kind of an interesting choice that he can't understand Remy. Like he just
Yeah,
sounds like a little mouse or a rat, obviously. Uh like squeaking.
yeah,
Like he just hears the squeaky. He doesn't actually understand him. So they can't really like form any kind of a that much of a bond. So it's a little, maybe that's a thing that I found a little bit lacking to it. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the scene when it was like he woke up and he was making him the omelets, and it's just like it's a little rat, and he's cooking with
yeah.
large utensils, so that's cool.
I liked that too, and I think what a big part of the middle piece that I didn't like is that there's so much of the rat on the guy, and
Yeah,
it's a funny gimmick and whatever, once or whatever, but I and like he's always holding stuff up to his hat. Like you
yeah.
look
It's
like a
so
fucking
obvious.
moron in the fucking kitchen. How does
Yeah,
nobody know that something weird's happening?
yeah.
Um,
It's kind of contradiction in that like it's supposed the whole idea of it is to be stealth, and it's so obvious and ridiculous that it doesn't, like, it's like, what's even the point of this? You might as well have the rat just hide in a corner and like walk over to him and like or like something.
yeah,
Teach the rat how to write, and he'll tell you what, write down directions or something. I don't know.
yeah,
It is tough. It's interesting because like, I don't know. In a way, I think of the idea of like him being in the hat and stuff like that. He's almost invisible, and it's like people can't see him. But rats are they're big enough that you'd see him. So the stealth aspect of the movie is a very big aspect. And you're right. It doesn't that is the weakest part of the movie, is literally the mouse in the hat controlling him. And I feel like that is kind of the biggest main thing of the movie, like the most famous thing of it, and it's kind
yeah.
of the weakest part.
Agreed. It's like definitely the gimmick of the movie, right? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of. I feel like it was on all the advertising and stuff, and yeah, and it's funny because it does take up a decent amount of the movie too, and and between that and kind of the fake fall, not the fake fallout, but kind of what felt like maybe a forced fallout, in my opinion, between them. Um, yeah, I think that kind of soured it a little bit, but again, I mean, yeah, there is a lot of cool stuff going. And one thing that I haven't even mentioned, and it's a Pixar movie, so maybe this is just obvious, but like it's so well animated. It's only 2007, and like the rat looks so like incredible. The rat gets wet, and it like looks like a wet rat.
Hmm.
Like like water, I imagine, is a hard thing to animate, and
Yeah.
wet fur. How like it feels like this, it feels like an accomplishment in animation, which is cool. Like there is so much really good stuff about the movie too, but um, yeah, I feel maybe a little stuck on that. Anyways,
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I think, how do you feel about Patton Oswalt as Remy?
I thought he did good. Yeah, did
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
I think it was I don't know. I do think it was good, but maybe it took me out a little bit just that I he sounded so much like Patton Oswalt.
yeah, you know who he is. Yeah,
Yeah, so I was a little bit like, that's Patton Oswalt.
it's not a rat. I
That's
know
not
that
a
voice.
Yeah, it's not a French. Also, not to mention, he's a French rat. Doesn't sound French. Uh, where's Alfredo Linguini from? Is he from Italy? His name sounds Italian, but is he French?
His name's Alfredo Linguini.
But he doesn't sound Italian. He doesn't
I
have an
know.
Italian accent.
Yeah,
And then the Colette has a French accent. So it's a little, I mean, could maybe Alfredo Linguini could have had a little Mamma Mia Italiano, you know? Hey, I'm walking here, you know? What if he sounded, imagine he sounded like that.
yeah.
Hey, you Gusteau impregnated my mother when he was in New York. What if that's what he sounded like?
Insane. That's insane.
Hey, Gusteau
Um,
fucked my mother. And now, and
that's
now
right.
this restaurant is mine.
Y'all didn't know that you actually came, you came for movie reviews and you're leaving with amazing uh absolutely perfect impressions. You're
My
welcome.
name is Linguini Alfredo Soprano Gusteau. I get the restaurant because you fucked my mother.
You want me to break your kneecaps here? What's going on?
Give me the restaurant or I'll put you in a ditch.
Remy, tell me what's going on.
Remy, we're family. What's the problem? I can't take some of the credit. I can't tell them you're a rat. Everyone hates rats. I was raised to hate rats. That could be the conflict of the movie. I grew up in the soprano crime family. I hate rats. There's nothing in this world I
Whoa.
hate more than rats.
Are you doing a play on words right now? Are you saying like rats, like the people that rat out people?
Yeah.
Dude, that's genius. That's genius. Holy shit, that's good.
My favorite movie is The Departed. I hate rats.
Oh man.
Anyway, if he
uh,
sounded like that, then it would have been a five-star movie. And then he has to,
sheer
that would be great. That would be a hilarious, like maybe there's a New York Ratatouille
fan
version you
edit.
can make. Like you know those shitty, like Atlantic Rim is the version of
Yeah,
Pacific Rim. We could make that and call it like Mouseatouille or something like that. You know
mouse
what I mean?
Tui.
Or we just call it like Rat in New York.
Yeah,
And it's about a rat who meets a mobster. And maybe, I mean, it can't be cooking. We have to change it from cooking. But there's
yeah,
something with the rats. He hates rats, but this is a
dude.
rat. He can communicate with the rat.
I got it. I got it. It's a like a child that's gonna be a mob boss, right? He's like the kid, but he's a like not into violence, right? So he doesn't want to do stuff. But then the rat will pull the trigger. The rat's on the top, and he pulls the guy's hair and makes the guy, break some guy's legs.
Oh, he's a killer rat. We call it killer rat. Maybe he doesn't want the rat. Maybe he hates the rat, and the rat is like strapped onto him, and he can't get it off. He's like,
The
I don't
dad,
want to be killing people.
the
I don't
dad's
want to
like,
be a murderer.
if you're not gonna kill people without a rat, you're gonna kill them with the rat.
I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. You're gonna have a rat on your head underneath this large cap.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and he's gonna do the murdering.
It's
This rat is my brother. He was reincarnated in a rat because we were cursed by another crime family.
called
And
the
now
Gustos.
the Gusto crime family cursed us, and now my brother is reincarnated in a rat and he does the murdering, but he's too small, so he has to control your body within this large cap and murder the rest of the Gusto crime family for revenge.
I'm just gonna say, Tubi, hit us up. We got you.
That would be pretty sick.
Uh,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our Ratatouille review. Uh, I did like the movie. I mean, I think it's just the expectations at this point were quite
yeah,
high.
I
But
agree. Also, I gotta say, the ghost of Gusto was a little weird. I don't, I don't know.
yeah, his
Thought that was a little
visions
weird.
of Gusto talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really care about it, I guess.
Yeah, it was fine. I feel like that's almost a common trope in a kids movie kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of just explaining things for the kids, I guess, maybe is part of it. In that, otherwise, the beginning of the movie is like The Revenant, but with a rat. Imagine, imagine someone should remake The Revenant, but with a rat.
Genius.
Yeah, and
Oh
Leonardo
man.
DiCaprio can do the voice.
Yeah.
It's called The Ratnant. He's about to get mauled by a bear.
I think somebody should just give us a shit ton of money so we can make a bunch of rat movies.
Yeah,
Like parody movies that are all just the parody aspect is that we're just replacing the main character with a rat
that
or
would
a guy
be
controlled by a rat. One or the other. Who knows?
yeah, yeah. That would be kind of a genius. Like you'd think the like, epic movie, superhero movie, all those parodies in the whatever 2000s into the 2010s, they should have done like a rat movie. And maybe it's like short films, like an anthology of
Mm,
different movies treated like recreated with rats.
yeah.
But would they
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be animated? Are we doing live action with CGI?
Oh my god.
Maybe
Wait,
we're
hundreds of beavers suits.
hundreds of
But
rats.
hundreds of it's just a giant one of those suits, but it's a rat theme instead of a beaver theme. And so the rat is like giant. And the guy's like, and he's like, if it's one of the ones where he's controlling the guy, he's like, it's like a piggyback ride, but nobody sees the rat because he's under a hat. So the rat has a little little hat on, but
Yeah.
he's just a full size human in this giant
Or
outfit.
like he's just a rat, but he just has on like a fake mustache and like a baseball hat, and no one notices that he's a rat. But that's his disguise. Like it's obvious that he's a rat, but no one notices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great.
All right, I think we cracked the code. I think this
Yeah.
is going to be a massive franchise of rat parodies.
Scream, but Ghostface is a rat. But then no, so
Yeah.
you already know who the killer is right away because it's the only person that's a rat. But they have
Well,
like
no, no. What about this? It's Scream. We don't know it's a rat movie at first.
okay,
It's
okay.
just a Scream homage, and then it turns out the rat has been controlling people, involuntarily.
Oh,
So people get captured. It's like, oh, Johnny's the killer, but oh no, Johnny was actually being controlled by the rat.
yeah. Under the ghost face, the rat just lives inside the ghost face mask.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's
Yeah.
in there and he's pulling their hair, and then maybe the like one like there's like our main character, and then the last person is bald, so the rat can't control him. Yeah,
Genius. Genius.
yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if we have that much more to say about Ratatouille. We've been on our rat tangent for a little while.
Yeah. And we gave our ratings. Yeah, I think I'm giving Ratatouille 3.5 stars is kind of where I'm at. I thought it was good, but I'm surprised maybe by the overwhelming uh kind of
Yeah.
acclaim.
Yeah, I get that. I gave it 4 stars. I think also I watched this after watching The Incredibles, so I
Yeah.
think that also could have been a factor of comparison, But it's still a really great movie, and like there are great sequences. I do think the themes, it's a very sweet movie, very romantic. It's Paris. So yeah, it didn't connect with me like so many other people, but I'm still glad to have watched it, and it's a very well animated and fun movie. So yeah, I may have to rewatch The Iron Giant at some point because that was another one that I watched a lot as a kid. I think I had it on VHS.
Yeah, me too.
So right now, as far as Brad Bird, I think Incredibles would be my number one, then The Iron Giant, then Ratatouille, then probably Mission Impossible 4, which I think is the one he did, and then Incredibles 2 would be the bottom. Although I have not seen Tomorrowland, which seems to have gotten quite mixed to negative reviews, which is like that George Clooney movie came out in like 2015. Kind of was like, oh, what's this movie? And then it came out and everyone was like, we don't want this. And then it just like came and went and the everyone moved on. But yeah. So this is our Pixar slash Brad Bird episode.
Yeah, funny that we and we. By the way, we're if anyone hasn't been following the show, first of all, you could start subscribing now. Um,
Yeah.
but at the end of each of these bigger episodes, we pick our next category, and we've been
Yes.
what we've been doing lately though is waiting and revealing during our half episodes what we've picked, and we don't usually talk about what we're picking. And so we come in with a surprise. And so it was a nice surprise actually that we both picked Brad Bird movies. I mean,
Yeah.
um, you know, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out. Did the same thing with Studio Ghibli. We both picked Miyazaki movies. So yeah, this worked out. Glad we got to watch two great movies. One amazing movie. And yeah, Ratatouille on my Pixar rankings. The thing with Pixar, so many of these I saw as a kid and I remember them, but my opinion is a little
Yeah.
not super clear. Um, but yeah, I did see Wall-E and Soul relatively recently, and I feel like I liked both of those more than Ratatouille. Though I just connected with those more. And then there's stuff like Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Toy Story, where those are like classics that I remember really loving, but also I haven't seen them in so long that it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so and same with A Bug's Life too. That was another one that I loved as a kid. Another one with small little diminutive characters
That's
in
right.
an environment that we see as from a different
Yeah.
perspective.
Which is a really cool idea, right? I mean, I think that's a really appealing, neat thing. And um again with Ratatouille, I'm surprised they didn't utilize it more, maybe.
Mm,
And also with Incredibles, it's interesting again that Pixar kind of dominated, at least in that early part, by movies that weren't about humans. Maybe that's because mostly of animation limitations or whatnot. I don't really know, but
mm.
cool to see that the first, all human cast, I guess, was such a wild success.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, what just an incredible superhero movie. Yeah, pretty awesome. So it's up there. Probably up there in the top five superhero movies for me. It's hard for me
Nice.
to be like, I'm gonna put this above like The Dark Knight or even the
Yeah.
Batman, which I really loved. Like, it's a little tough, but it's
Certainly a
up
better
there.
kids superhero movie for sure. Maybe the best kids superhero movie.
I think when my kid's like 6 or 7, I'll show him the Batman. I'll be like, this is what life is like. It's depressing, and your parents are gonna die. I
you're
am vengeance.
you're like your parents are gonna die. Wait, shit, that's me. Fuck.
Yeah, Batman's so cool. Oh.
Oh my god.
Well,
It's
what?
it's time to pick our. What if we had Batman right now? Do we
That would be
must have
sick.
Batman in there. That'd be
I don't
insane.
know if Batman is in there, but DC is certainly in the cup.
Mm,
So yeah, anyone on YouTube, we have the cup, the category cup. I got it right here. You can see. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna pick our category for our episode in 2 weeks. Next week we got Oscar predictions. Oh, and with Oscar predictions, we're gonna cover Project Hail Mary. So everyone go check that out. It's gonna be coming out I guess next week.
mm.
So we are both like very excited for that movie. And yeah, so oh wait, I'm wrong. That's the week after. Okay, I fucked that up. Ignore
Wait.
everything I just said. So next episode is Oscar predictions.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
then we're gonna have our regular episode. Then the week after, we're gonna have our Oscar recap with Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So Project Hail Mary's 3 weeks away, so don't worry about that just yet.
Also, if if anyone's keeping track, right? Technically, technically, I lost last year's Oscar predictions recap, right?
Technically, what do you mean
Te-
technically?
I'm
Mathematically, factually,
I'm saying,
literally.
yeah. But what I'm saying is that this year it's comeback season, guys. So make sure that you're tuning in for the predictions because when you hear what I'm saying, you're gonna want to write that down so you can go onto our sponsor of today's episode, Kalshi. I'm just kidding.
Not true.
go,
Not
go
true.
go gamble with my predictions because they're
Don't
gonna
do
be
that. We do
spot
not
on.
advocate gambling, especially with Ryan's predictions. As you know, last year his score was quite diminutive.
That's
So,
not true. We were close. We were close.
eh,
I think there was like a half a point difference, probably.
no, way more than that. Definitely over on that. Yeah, this year it'll be interesting. You're definitely coming for the belt. I am the champ. I am the reigning champ, and we'll see if I can defend the belt. Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Next episode. All right, cool. Now, so yes, next week's episode is Oscar predictions, but after that, we've got a full episode, and the category is it's facing the wrong way. Well, it just says mixed media.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think you put that in here, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that means. I know what it means in the context of an art piece with different
Yeah.
using different substances, but I don't fully know what you mean by mixed media.
I mean, this has been a long. We put these in there a long time ago.
It was over a year ago, at least. Yeah.
I think what I was thinking of is things actually like. Remember how we watched Wolf House and there's like stop motion painted and not clay but paper mache and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, maybe things like that, or also something like um, you know,
Something. What about
some found
something?
footage things have like multiple different formats that it records on that are like visually and thematically
Oh,
relevant. Um, so, for example, not that Blair Witch maybe is the best example of this, but like Blair Witch uses Super 8 and no, sorry, High 8 and 16 millimeter film
yeah.
for different reasons, right? And so
All right.
I think that maybe isn't the best example, but things like that, maybe where you have kind of intentionally different formats or intentionally different art styles at times, maybe something like that.
Okay. Because I was thinking, I had a thought of perhaps something that mixes like documentary with fiction.
Oh,
Would that count as mixed media? That's more of mixed medium or
I could see
mixed
that.
genre. Or
Yeah.
what about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Mixing
Oh,
live
yeah.
action and animation does that
I
count?
think that would count for me, right? Like something like that, or what's the like Space Jam, right? Something like those. Um,
Oh, Space Jam. I forgot about Space Jam.
um, yeah, I think that's kind of. I was thinking maybe more visually, but I think
Hmm.
um, I could. See, I mean,
We'll look into it.
yeah,
We'll
I
figure
was.
it. Okay, I will say 98% chance our category in 2 weeks is mixed media, and we'll find some cool stuff and figure it out. If this is impossible, we'll pick something else and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, you know what? We've been having the Dark Knight trilogy in our back pocket. So worst case scenario, maybe
We'll
we
just
just
say
watch the
we'll
Dark
just say
Knight.
fuck the category cup. We'll do the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah,
No, I think yeah, we'll figure it out. I think
yeah, we'll figure it out.
yeah, but
All right, cool.
it'll
Well,
be an
whatever that means, stick around, subscribe on YouTube, Mind Your Movies podcast. We're on the podcast wherever you can listen to a podcast. Like we said earlier, we have a letterbox, Mind Your Movies, all one word, and in the bio you can find both of our individual letterbox accounts as well. Was there anything you wanted to say before the end of the episode? I feel like I cut you off slightly.
I was just gonna say it's funny that we've had like a kind of a streak here with our categories of like these bigger
Yeah.
kind of top 250 big budget things like this, Pixar, Marvel, and I don't know what this is gonna look like, but that's kind
Yeah.
of the maybe interesting piece of our cup.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to look into this and figure out maybe some things with shot on multiple formats or with different animation styles, stuff like that. So that'll
Oh,
be interesting.
I wonder if something like Marcel with a shell kind of counts in this because it's like stop motion and also live action kind of because the well, I guess it's the setting, I guess, is kind of I don't know.
Hmm.
I hmm,
We can try to figure it out. Maybe this
yeah.
is one where we should discuss a little bit before we
Yeah,
announce it
yeah.
to make sure that these make sense and qualify. So maybe we won't do a surprise announcement next week, but we'll still announce.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Well, that sounds good. Well, hopefully we'll find some cool obscure stuff and that'll be fun. Because it is nice to do the big popular stuff, but it's also cool to find some random like the Wolf House and Mad God. That was a cool episode.
Yeah, crazy stuff and a cool
Yeah,
episode. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I guess that's all we have to say. Um, anyway, I'm glad this episode featured a diminutive rat, and don't forget to mind your movies.